Shalom, I give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere occupants pushing his word out across the four corners of the earth. This is an article from beforeisnews.com. As you can see, the title says, is martial law coming to the United States? This was published on August 19, 2018. And it's a pretty long article, so I'm just going to cover a couple points of the article. And Most High is willing, I can be able to get the rest of it out next week. So it says, what's the purpose of martial law in America? When you read what's been going on while you've been busy sleeping, it should send chills up your spine. This is not some happenstance possibility. It's a diabolical plot to destroy America that has existed for over 200 years. When you think about martial law, you don't want to make the mistake assuming that it will only come because of some crisis. Martial law is seldom imposed on any civilian population to maintain law and order. That's what the government wants you to believe, but that's only propaganda. In reality, its use is almost always to suppress resistance and take control of a country. Martial law almost never ends as promised because absolute power is addicting. You should think of martial law only as an act of aggression by despots planning to bring you a tyrannical government with few, if any, rights. In the U.S., the purpose for martial law would not be to maintain law and order. It would be used to fulfill Obama's promise to fundamentally transform America. His vision involves an extremely ambitious coup, which would definitely cost millions of lives. And that's talking about in the New World Order, which is all throughout the scriptures. The full martial law in America may involve a slow roll to keep the patriots from reacting. The implementation of Agenda 21 will be the full goal. This is the worldwide UN document which the U.S. has already signed and agreed to without the knowledge or approval of the majority of Americans, which calls for a dramatically reduced population. The primary agenda for martial law in America. The list of items below is my conviction of what the administration wants to achieve once martial law is announced. The list is substantial, and to achieve all of it will require exquisite timing and the use of extreme force. Of course, all of the items listed below won't immediately happen when martial law arrives, but this represents the ultimate wish list of the globalist New World Order politicians, including the president, as well as the super rich elitists, bankers who are pulling the strings of power behind the curtain. Because this agenda represents such as an extreme transformation of America, you know that they will try to keep what they're doing a secret from the masses until they reach critical mass and rebellion becomes fruitless. Martial law in America, once begun, will never end unless the government is overthrown, because the goal is to radically change everything. And through the Spirit, we know that it is going to be overcome or overthrown by our Lord and Savior, Yahushai, who is going to redeem the elect from the nation of Israel. That's why I mentioned in the scripture how he's going to have many crowns upon his head. He's going to take the power from all these different elite kings all across the four corners of the earth. And he's going to be the only one in rulership. And he's going to have that throne, you know. So, number one, controlling the population. The first purpose of martial law is to place the entire population under strict control. If we can be cowed into obeying and don't rebel, they will rapidly continue with their more extreme measures. All critical resources will be confiscated and are controlled, taking full control over the distribution of the food supply. Water, gasoline, and electricity will force most people to comply. And this was a quote, a famous quote from this devil, Nathan Mayer Rothschild. He says, who controls the issuance of money controls the government. When you look up the word government, govern means control or rule, and meant mind. So control or rule of the mind. And so the elites know this. Once they have control of the money system, you have control of the minds of the people. So that's part of their New World Order plan. All right, get back to the article. And it says, dependence upon the government will be encouraged. And I can see this is going to lead into, Romans the 13th chapter. These so-called black, Hispanic, and even white leaders they're going to be controlling the masses or controlling the congregation about go ahead and accept this new world order. And this was an article I came across right here from endtimesreport.com. As you can see, it says secret FEMA plan to use pastors as pacifiers in preparation for martial law. Nationwide initiative trains volunteers to teach congregations to obey the government during seizure of guns, property, forced inoculations, and forced relocation. So you have pastors right now are training for this coming new world order. And I can pretty much put my money on this, that a lot of these false prophets that know that they are Israelites, they're into this stuff as well. They getting trained as well how to control their congregation. And this is Romans, the 13th chapter and the first verse, because a lot of them are going to be bringing this up. And our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, they always warned us about this, what to be looking for. And you can see things are happening right now in the spirit, So Romans 13:1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. And that's talking about these elites. And a lot of these preachers, these false leaders, these fake pastors, they're going to be bringing these out to our people and also to the other nations to listen to the government, comply with them, accept their new world order, accept their mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. And a lot of people going to get caught up in that, and that's going to be their destruction, Verse 2, whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. As you see from this article right here, that's what a lot of these pastors are getting trained and geared up for. And this actually came about in 2006. So you definitely know that that's something they about to get ready, get prepared, and get geared up for in due time. All right, we'll get back to the article. All right, it says right here, dependence upon the government will be encouraged. Being self-reliant by hoarding or growing food would be illegal, subject to confiscation. Fresh water would be drugged even more than it is now. That was also a future prophecy back in Ezekiel, the 4th chapter and 13th verse, that we should eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. And it will also be tightly rationed. B, a national ID or surgically implanted biometric ID chip will likely be mandatory by tracking the population. It will become more difficult to rebel or escape. Now, only one little thing we can think of that matches up with the mark of the beast that's mentioned in the scriptures. And that's the biometric ID chip or the RFID chip. All right, so let's get Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It was an interesting point right here in the 16th verse. For all, the word is pas. In the Greek, it's pas, P-A-S. And also cut on Nathaniel, because he used to say that that's only talking about small countries, small nations, things of that such, or large countries or large nations. Right here in Pasa, you look up in the Greek, it says all, any, every, the whole. You go down right here. It says individually, each, every, any, all, the whole, collectively. So it's talking about people as well. It's talking about people. So it's not talking about, it's just small nations and large nations. No, it's talking about individuals, People are going to be receiving the mark of the beast, which is that RFID chip. All right, so right here, it says a national ID or surgically implanted biometric ID chip will likely be mandatory. So that's going to be implemented in the United States of America and also across the world, because that's why it's called a New World Order. By tracking the population, it will become more difficult to rebel or escape. All forms of money will be tightly regulated and controlled. Bank accounts and retirement funds will be stolen. Gold will be confiscated, even as it was under President Franklin Roosevelt. Bartering will become illegal. Only state-approved and recorded financial transactions will be allowed. Anything done under the table will be harshly punishable with strict penalties. So you have like a lot of these jakes out here. They got their little side hustle. They probably like work on cars, or probably like sell different things of that such. Under the table, it's not traceable. But Esau's gonna cut that shit short, man. Because that's why he wants to control everything. He wants to see everything. That's why his spirit is heavily into surveillance cameras, drones. He wants to see everything like he's the Most High. And that's also prophesied in the scriptures. That's how we know that this man he's the devil, man. And this is Ecclesiasticus, the 23rd chapter, jump to the 19th verse. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, considering the most secret parts. So Yahweh Shai has the angels in command to see everything, and they report everything that they see in detail to Yahweh Shai. So Esau, on the left-hand side, he uses different drones and surveillance cameras and satellites to try to trace and track everything. Try to be like the Most High. And this is 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter, and start the 3rd verse. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's talking about this so-called white man, this so-called Caucasian. Esau, Edom, Idumea, the Edomites, that's their biblical identity. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is as the Most High, sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So he tried to do everything the Most High does. Most High creates different type of foods and herbs, to heal you. Esau counterparts that, or counteract that with his different type of drugs he makes in the labs, which will poison you. Everything the Most High has set for you on the right hand to benefit you, Esau, which is the devil, on the left hand side, he has everything to pretty much kill you and destroy you. He's totally opposition to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's how we know he's the son of perdition. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this point right here. And like I said, Lord, will I be able to I can cover the rest of the points of this article. So he's asking, is martial law coming to the United States? And yes, it is, because we know through the prophecy that this is coming to the United States of America. And also the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast in the scriptures. So with that, I hope you all were edified. Like, give all honor and glory again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, the abundance of apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere brothers. Shalom.